everybody, I'm Lisa Rowberry, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're actually going to continue on with our sniff session series where we are sniffing our way through each and every scent category in the spring and summer 2023 Scentsy catalog. However, I am getting kind of sad because we're kind of coming to the end of this. After today, we only have 2 more sniff sessions in this series, which, like I said, it makes me kind of sad because I like doing these sniff sessions with you. Not that this is going to be the last one, because we always have like new and upcoming collections, and of course we've got upcoming catalogs down the line, but this is always like so fun for me to do with you guys, like to kick off the catalog season. So anyways, it is what it is. But anyways, today's video, we are actually going to be sniffing through 2 different scent categories because they're both pretty small. We are going to be sniffing through both the woods category of fragrances, which has 7 scents, and then we are also going to be sniffing our way through all 2 of the spice category fragrances. So that leaves us with 9 fragrances we're going to be sniffing through. So relatively, this should be a short video. Relatively. This is still me, and I do still like to chit chat. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and start with the woods category of fragrances. And for probably the first time in this series, I think I would actually agree with all of these scents we're going to talk about today in that like they belong in these categories. Every other category we have sniffed through, I've been like, yeah, but this doesn't belong here. This actually belongs in floral or fruity. I actually completely agree with the placement of all of these scents. So there's that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Like I said, we're going to start with the woods category of fragrances. And the first scent we're going to talk about is Blue Sage and Tonka. And man, am I so happy that Scentsy decided to keep this one around. This one was actually a new release, not last fall and winter season, but the fall and winter before that. And they did decide at that point to discontinue it for the spring and summer season last spring and summer, but this time they decided to keep it. And I was so happy to see that because this is a great earthy scent. Now, you're gonna hear me say earthy a lot because, well, we're in the woods category. Woods equals earthy. So there's just that. But I love this. It's so nice. It's really, it's a fresh earthy scent. I do agree that this definitely belongs in the woods category, but there is this like freshness to it, and it's gotta be the sage. And then that Tonka is just bringing a little bit of sweetness that I just love. And I don't think that this is like a seasonally specific scent. I totally reach for this all year, which is why when they did discontinue it for the spring and summer, last spring and summer, it definitely went into my club because I was just like, I love this. And I'm not really one that's a huge like woodsy scent loving person. You guys know I'm more like bakery, fruity. I mean, I will find something in basically every category to love, but typically like woods, I can kind of like take it or leave it. But this one, I love it. I really love this. And I just, like I said, it's just kind of fresh, clean, and earthy. And it's a really great performer too. So I love this one. Blue Sage and Tonka is described as revel in the richness of midnight sage and black lavender over the sultry sweetness of tonka bean. And I absolutely agree with this. I agree with this 100%. And it's a great balance between the tonka and the lavender and the sage, because when you're smelling the sage, you don't necessarily want it to smell like you're cooking with it. You know, like you want it to smell like earthy sage, like sage brush, you know? So this is really nice. So I love it. So Blue Sage and Tonka for the woods category. Okay, next one we're going to talk about is a bestseller, and it is Bonfire Beach. And again, I definitely agree that this belongs in the woods category. I've already said it. I agree all across the board. But this is really nice too. What I love about the spring and summer woods category is that it's different to me than the fall and winter woods category. I feel like fall and winter, it's very like, they're all different like variations. You've got like your apple and spice that have like the wood scents that is coming through. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying like a lot of it is the same it's a lot of the same types of scents, but just like very slight like differences in them, in my opinion. This has a nice variety, I feel like. So this has the sweetness of marshmallow that's coming through, but you definitely have that like woodsy element that's really in the forefront, but it's balanced nicely with the woodiness of this, and then also like a marshmallow sweetness to it as well. So I love this one. Bonfire Beach is described as toasted marshmallow smoldering over white flint and sandalwood, harmonized with salty sea air and ocean spray. I totally agree with this. And that's something else I will say about this category. I love sandalwood. I love sandalwood. It's probably my favorite of like the woodsy scents. Really nice. So I love that. So, and this is a bestseller as well. Actually, we've got quite a few bestsellers in this one, in this category. Next one is also a bestseller, and it is Coastal Sunset. And Coastal Sunset, this is really nice. It's different. This one, I do believe, has sandalwood. It also has like a coconut in this. So this is definitely your more like summery woodsy scent. I'm here for all the coconuts, so I love it. So I think this is fantastic. Also a bestseller. So Coastal Sunset is described as creamy coconut and sandalwood. Set the scene for warm amethyst amber. And that's another one that I am totally weak in the knees for, is amber scents. So good. So love that. Coastal Sunset, another bestseller. Okay, and moving right along, we have Mystery Man, another bestseller. This feels so weird. Like we're already like halfway through. This makes me really sad. Okay, so Mystery Man. Mystery Man, I mean, it is, I would agree that there's like some woodsy qualities to this, but you wouldn't smell this and think, yes, this is very woodsy and earthy. This smells like cologne. It smells like cologne. So there's that. I love it. I love it. It smells like a fresh, clean man for sure. But yeah, it's hard to say like you smell this and think of like a tree. You don't. It smells very masculine, very cologne-y. I like it. So Mystery Man is described as warm white cedar, green verbena, and citrusy bergamot in a perfectly spiced, sensual fragrance. So I totally agree with that. We like this one here in our house too. So Mystery Man. Next one is another one I'm so happy that Scentsy decided to bring back and add to the catalog. This one was actually a scent, a part of our Father's Day collection last year. And this was a really, really great one, and it did well. So Scentsy said, here you go. You can have it all spring and summer. And it is Sandalwood Tangerine. And this one was such a great, like different kind of scent. Again, with the sandalwood, I'm a sucker for sandalwood. I love it. But what I love is that there is like just a slight like citrusy element. There might actually be some amber in this as well. Now it's not saying that there's any amber, but there is like something that's giving like, the tangerine is adding brightness, but there's also something adding some sweetness to it as well, which I know tangerine is sweet, but there's something else. And I love it. It's fantastic. So Sandalwood Tangerine is described as white cedar and a spritz of tangerine, brighten sandalwood groves. So fantastic. Love it. Super happy that Scentsy decided to bring this one back. This is a great like bedroom scent. I think it's really nice and romantic, and I think it's great. Okay, next scent we're gonna talk about. I smile because I love this one. It actually, like, it's a scent memory for me, and my husband hates it. Not that I've actually tried to warm it. I don't know that I would necessarily want to warm it in my house necessarily, but I have tried it in my car, like a few years ago, and he was just like, I cannot with this scent, and it is weathered leather. I love this. And now, is weathered leather necessarily a woodsy fragrance? No, but there's also no like leather scent category. This just smells like leather. And I mean, if you walk into like a leather shop, this is what it smells like. And I really feel like Scentsy hit the nail on the head with this one. I'm telling you, it smells like leather. For me, one of my first jobs was working at the Men's Warehouse. And so this just brings me back to those times when we would have, you know, back in the shoe room would smell like leather because you've got all the leather shoes, dress shoes that are in there. This reminds me of unpacking the belts, you know, so it totally brings me back to that time. And it's a good time. It's a good memory. It reminds me of my dad. And it's just, I love it. I love it. But like I said, I don't know that I would necessarily want to like warm it in my house necessarily. I don't know that I necessarily want my house to smell like a leather shop, but I do really like this scent. I do. And I honestly feel like it's perfect for the car. But Sean was like, yeah, no, it's too strong for one. And for two, he's like, it just smells like plastic. It smells like leather and it's great. I think Scentsy nailed this one. So weathered leather is described as step into an old-fashioned saddle shop brimming with dark suede, tooled leather, and vintage saddles over a backdrop of oak. So I know there's oak in the scent description to make it fancy, but it smells like leather. I would agree. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna put? You're not gonna put this in bakery. You're not gonna put this in fruity. I mean, maybe some people might find this fresh. Woods it is. So there's that. I'm not beefing with the scent category in this one. So weathered leather. Okay, last one for the woods category is white, amber, and teak. And this one, it's another masculine fragrance, but I actually do smell a little more of the woodsy qualities in this one rather than Mystery Man. I think out of the two, I probably prefer Mystery Man if I'm going for that like cologne-y scent. Like it would definitely be one of these two. I would probably go with Mystery Man. Let's see. Mystery Man smells like my husband, so I'm gonna go with that one. But no, they're both really nice, but I think I can pick up more woodsy qualities in white, amber, and teak. And I do love amber, so there's that too. Okay, so in white, amber, and teak is a bestseller. This is described as alluring amber and teak flirt with fresh bergamot. So there you have it. Very simple description. I guess I would agree with that. It's kind of cologne-y. So if you like those types of scents, you will love this. So there is the woods category. I typically like to give you my top 6 scents, but well, since there's only 7 scents in this one, we'll go like overall because there are 2 more scents we have to talk about. They are in a different category, but there's only 2. So I'm not gonna make a 2-minute video. You guys would be like ecstatic. I'm sure some people would be like, is everything okay? Like go check on the Rowberries because Lisa made a 2-minute video. So now let's go ahead and hop over into the spice category of fragrances where we have 2 wonderful scents we're gonna talk about. With the spring and summer season, that's when a lot of like categories you'll see a shift in. Fall and winter is definitely heavier in the spice category, a lot less in the florals. Not a ton less in the fruity, but it is a little more slimmer in the fall and winter months. But usually the spice category, how it looks right now, is usually how the floral category looks in the fall and winter months, because, you know, and for good reason. Like during this time of year when it starts to warm up outside, you're not necessarily reaching for those heavier, spicier fragrances. Some people do, and that's totally fine. That's the beautiful thing about this. There are no rules. You can totally warm whatever your heart desires. But typically when it's like 197 outside, you're not like, ooh, I feel like warm, cozy, spicy vibes. At least not me. I'm usually wanting to go for the like fresh, fruity, those kind of vibes. So that's why this particular category is sparse right now, but it will bulk up more during the fall and winter months. So, okay, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and kick this category off with cinnamon vanilla. And I'll give you one guess what it smells like. Yep. It is more cinnamon forward, but not too aggressive cinnamon in my personal opinion. There's a scent that Scentsy does during the fall and winter months called Cinnamon Bear. That is aggressive cinnamon. This one, the cinnamon is definitely in the forefront, but it's softened and sweetened with the vanilla, so that totally works. So if you're someone who you like those like cinnamon fragrances all year round, this is a great staple to have for sure. Or if you're wanting something to have, I don't want to say more bakery, more like holiday bakery vibes, because we're gonna get into the bakery category after this video. That's the next category that's coming up. So we'll talk about like how you can get more bakery vibes, but this is more like if you're wanting some holiday bakery vibes because it has spice in there. So you could totally like add a cube of this to something else to like give it a little more spice, a little more sweetness maybe. So really nice, but it's cinnamon in the forefront with the vanilla just like popping in to soften it and sweeten it ever so slightly. So cinnamon vanilla is described as inviting blend of vanilla beans, cinnamon, coconut, and cassia. There is no coconut in this, so I will disagree on the description here. It's just cinnamon and vanilla. Don't overthink it. It's not coconut. There is no coconut in this. Not when it's warming, not on cold, not. and that's totally fine. I think it's great. I think it's a great simple spice fragrance. I don't get coconut. Okay, last but most certainly not least is Welcome Home. And Welcome Home, I'm actually surprised is not listed as a bestseller. This one, I love this one. It is tried and true, like near and dear to my heart, because this does evoke some like scent memory for me with this one as well. This is just like when you are ready to kick off fall, the stores are starting to set out the pine cones and you get those like cinnamon, the like little like warm, sweet cinnamon like vibes in the air. It's walking into a craft store at the beginning of fall. It is fantastic. And I love the way this makes me feel because I smell this and I think, ah, yes, fall is near. We're done with the 100-degree days and fall and winter is right upon us. That is not the case here. Not in this particular situation. We're like ready to, you know, go into full gear spring and summer. But I'm like, yeah, can we fast forward? I'm a fall winter girl all day, every day. But I love this though. This is a great one. It's just, it's warm, warm spices, sweet berries, walking into a craft store at the beginning of fall. It's perfect. I love this. So warm and welcoming for sure. Welcome Home is described as warm and welcoming. Warm and welcoming with cinnamon and spices. I do get a little bit of like sweet berries in this as well. There is a sweetness that's in here. It's not just cinnamon and other spices. I know there's sweet spices out there too, but I get almost like some sweet berries in this as well. And I love this. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, so this is still going to be hard even though there's not that many scents. I'm going to give you my top 6. So I'm going to go, okay, and not in any particular order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is just based on like what I would warm in my house, and not in any particular order or anything. Welcome Home. I love me some Welcome Home. It's fantastic. I also get it in a brick through Scentsy Club. Whoop whoop, Scentsy Club. Love it. That's how much I love this scent. Bonfire Beach. Love it as well. Ugh, so good. Very similar to Marshmallow Fireside by Bath & Body Works. So if you like that, you'll really like this. We also have Blue Sage and Tonka. Has to make my list. So good. And I am not usually one that is like into the more earthy scents, but I'm into Blue Sage and Tonka. It is so good. Next one is Coastal Sunset. And then we've got number 5 is Sandalwood Tangerine. And bringing up the end here, we have Mystery Man. So, so good. Love all 6 of these. These would be the ones I would recommend from the woods / spice category. Yeah, so let me know down below in the comments, which are your favorites from these categories. Are you someone who you're like, you know what, I don't care what time of year it is, I am here for the spice scents. You know, give me all of the Welcome Home, give me all of the cinnamon vanilla. I love hearing from you guys. It kind of inspires me to like get out of my shell a little bit and warm some things that are not necessarily seasonally appropriate. I just kind of warm whatever I feel like, but there is something to like, yeah, but it's April. Should I really be reaching for Welcome Home right now? So I like hearing from you. Let me know. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of content. If you're new, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you stay up to date with all things Scentsy. Have an amazing day, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.